So, with daily debates, it seems to all come down to God of the gaps or circular reasoning. And it still kind of falls into a God of the gaps. So let's take into account fine-tuning, for instance. There's different depictions of the fine-tuning argument, but let's go with the philosophical aspect of everything was perfectly created for all of life to exist. Basically, it's trying to say the universe was made for us to live and inhabit the universe. That's one takes for the fine-tuning argument. Now, I'm going to also read you the actual fine-tuning argument. So here's the syllogism for the standard fine-tuning argument. The physical constants of the universe are finely tuned to allow the existence of life, which is basically the just purely philosophical argument as well. Fine-tuning is either due to physical necessity, chance, or design. It is not due to physical necessity or chance. Therefore, fine-tuning is due to design, or God, in parentheses. Who said it's not due to physical necessity? Premise 3 is false. There's more wrong with this entire argument. There is more. That's just my favorite part to point out. What observable universe has been observed to state that it is not physically necessary for the constants of physics? That's the fine-tuning is just physics. Mass works because of how mass works. That's what gravity is. That's why planets exist. That's why stars do what they do. It's physics. There's nothing magical about it. It's just 2 + 2 is 4. The constants are just how they work. Now, for you to say that God did that, designed that, created that, makes it do that, you can argue is an empirical claim. You're saying God is empirically interacting with natural reality. That would require empirical evidence to be true. Forensic scientists can see if I touch a water bottle, they can get my fingerprints. Where's God's fingerprint on the universe? If I drop the water bottle, they can see how high up it was dropped from, how far it bounced, how many times it bounced. Where is that evidence for God controlling gravity or protons, etc.? Those are empirical claims. To have faith in it is okay. But to simply say, God controls this, makes this, and designed it, you have to have something demonstrable to provide for that argument, for that claim. That's a truth claim. Another issue with this argument comes back to what I was trying to say earlier. What other universe have you observed to be able to compare the likelihood? For instance, we know that a coin flip is 50-50 because there's 2 observable sides. There's only a 50% chance. For you to say it is 0.000000001% chance for the universe being the way it is, what are you comparing that to get that number? The likelihood compared to what? That's not how that works. You have to compare it. We don't have another observable universe to observe and compare it to. So, by that same logic, I can easily argue it's a 100% chance that it did what it did. First of all, we haven't even explored all of our Milky Way, nor other galaxies. The universe is so vast. For you to say we are the only life is ridiculous and false because you haven't observed all of the universe. And then for you to say that the likelihood is impossible, again, that's false. There's recently, as of this video being put out, evidence of ancient civilization on Mars. Like, we as human Homo sapiens have only been here for 400,000 years. 13.8 billion year old observable universe. That's a lot of freaking years. There could have been trillions of other life forms. There could currently be trillions. Well, you really think that there's going to be other human-like? No. We evolved to be human because of the necessary requirements for us to survive on this planet. Starting from eukaryote, we fought to survive, and this happened to be the best form for us to survive. We did not come out as just humans. Trees had to evolve to do what they do for wood. Wood is very important for the tree, I mean biologically. Every aspect of us is a biological evolution for survival. 99.9% of all life has gone extinct. This universe is very hard to survive in, sure, but it is very obviously possible. Not only do we humans exist, billions of other critters do as well. So to say that there's no life elsewhere is very arrogant, not even ignorant. It's arguing from ignorance, but it's very arrogant of a claim to say that you know what is unknown currently. Again, Zeus and lightning. So the fine-tuning argument is beyond fallacious. It is just full of, I don't know, so it must be God. I don't know why I exist, it must be God. Or, from what I see, is a lot of theists don't even know what a scientific theory is, versus the verb to theorize, which is not the same thing. A scientific theory is not a guess or an assumption, and that seems to be a massive argument point for theists. So for you to even say, we don't know what happened before the Big Bang, the hot dense state, therefore it must be God. Again, fallacious, God of the gaps. What evidence can you provide to substantiate that claim? That's an empirical claim. That's a truth claim about reality. You need to provide something demonstrable for that truth claim. And that doesn't exist. Logically sound syllogism for God doesn't exist. I'll leave it at that. Fine-tuning argument is just ridiculously fallacious, silly, incoherent, inconsistent, and very contradicting. It's terrible. Quit using it.